The word that kept coming to me was purity. There's purity, and there's purity in the fire, and allowing fire to be pure, you know, purifying, the purification of death and destruction. It's death and destruction. It's all good. It's just part of the process of being alive and allowing life to use us to do what it wants with us, like the weather, like the wind. The wind can, you know, power whole towns, or it can knock down forests. You know, it's that kind of thing. I like the Ten of Swords. I mean, it looks kind of scary, but it's all about release. It's about releasing all these ideas. The swords are thoughts and ideas, and it's kind of like I've had one too many ideas. You know, that Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is, for me, is more troublesome, because in the Nine of Swords, it's kind of like it's all there, it's all in our head, trying to work it out, trying to make it mean something. There are way too many swords still, but there's angst. What I find with the 10 is there's no angst because there's no choice. So, but it's really a new chapter beginning, but we have to let go, and you have to let go of everything you think. It's really about love, about the relationship, about masculine, about feminine, about all of this stuff, everything that's ever been before. You just don't know anything. You kind of wipe the slate clean over and over and over again. And so there's just, you know, this ending that comes in with this 10, and it's an end of all that. This 5, and the 5s are all about the middle, where it can be destructive. It's like a fight. So it's destructive, but it's also creative. So it is that energy. But it's almost like if she doesn't have an outlet for that creativity or that tangibility of life, or like the passion, or, you know, it's almost like she's got to dance, or she's got to sing, or she's got to paint, or she's got to have sex, or she's got to, you know, get out there and do something. Or, you know, it's like eating. It's pleasure. It's pleasure. It's sensual pleasure. And it's to clarify things. It's here to clarify. This 5 of Wands is about clarification. The masculine is not interested in this whatsoever, though. Not interested. Nada. If she wants to fight, he's not going to be up for it. This wrongness is what's coming up for the feminine. What is perceived to be wrong. So the sexuality, the addiction, there's an addictive quality. There's a compulsion. It's the things that we desire that we think we shouldn't desire. It's very important that that comes up. We need to be neutral. She needs to be neutral on I destroy or I create. People think that if they observe things that they do not like, then their vibration is low. You can observe things you don't like and not feel bad. That's the freedom. That's the invitation. It's about really experiencing it and not judging it and judging ourselves in the experience. The invitation here is that it's within her. So within you, do you like the low notes within you? That's really important. That's what life's trying to encourage the feminine. So there's rage there. Again, there's rage, there's addiction, there's obsession, there's compulsion, there's all this, the dark side. And it's kind of like the dark side coming up in her. And can she really be in that dark side? It's all about grounding and living in love fully, and living in love for oneself, understanding oneself in love. She needs and is embracing all the messy parts of the world and of herself that she hasn't really wanted to embrace as love. This is visceral. This isn't just an idea, because everyone believes that. Everyone here believes that. And if you ask them, and again, like we'll say, well, you know, that's just part of life. But then you'll find that they don't accept it so easily when it's happening. It's viscerally in her. It's not just an idea, because that's how it gets grounded. But I also do feel like it's about this love. People love to talk about this higher love and how beautiful it is, and how, yeah, and it is all those things. It's also messy, painful, but again, you don't have to suffer in that. Obsession, it's obsessive. It's completely obsessive. It's obsessive compulsive. But that, like I said, it's just part of love. It's not very loving to try and love everybody. You do love everybody. You just have to, you're going to restrict yourself from experiencing how you love everybody if you're trying to love them, because it's your idea of what you think loving is. Your idea of equality is your idea. It's completely selfish. That doesn't mean you can't have ideas, but you can't believe them. You have to go, well, this is my idea for a great world, but or this is my idea of equality. And you can operate through your idea of equality, but you don't walk around thinking that you know what's best for the world. But this is this is very important in terms of grounding. This Hierophant is what she wants. This is about living it in the world. Also marriage, togetherness, connection. So he just wants to be in control, but in a good way, in a way that's, I'm going to lead you. What's nice is that he's just going to, I'm going to take you anyway. You can still have all these thoughts that you have, but I'm the one that's he is leading her into the calmer water. It's jealousy of his time, where he spends his time, whom he's spending his time with, what he's focusing upon, whatever the other woman is, also kind of like the other woman. But he heals that kind of miraculously. He's in a very healing energy of that, because I feel like it's a kind of unfounded, that feminine aggression, which has been suppressed, rises up again. So he doesn't need to hold so much of that energy, and he can feel like a bit of he doesn't need to be so aggressive in the world, because it's that beautiful. This is such a beautiful energy. I think what a lot of people miss in these relationships is that it's inviting you to move into love with the world. And so it's yourself, the world, and another. But the world is kind of like, you're driving down the street and someone screams at you, or you're, just how you're interacting all the time with your experience. To fall in love with that. She can't move forward to the masculine until she's embraced all parts of herself fully. And you got to understand, on this love journey, you are the world. So she's got to really embrace all that, the truth of the hardship, the suffering, the pain, the evil, the death, the destruction, the addiction, the compulsion, the obsession, the abuse. This is this is the practical world. And I feel like there's a little bit of, well, how do I be this? How can this be love? How can I love in how can I love in this? What do I say? How do I, who am I now? Who is she when she's really being in the world in this really physical way? Pentacles physical. You can't be broken down by the suffering and the hardship and the destruction in the world. You can't be broken by it every time. A white feather just fell from the ground and went past my window. We don't get to condemn anything in life, even the things we don't like. And this is really, really important. It's really, really important, because it holds us apart from love. But he's ready, he's moving towards her. The consequence of not knowing anything is that we can then know things and can be very committed to the communication of what we know, but at the same time acknowledging that we actually don't know. So it's just our job to be in our truth in that moment, and to be moved by life, and to do whatever we want to do. She has something to communicate and to say. It's powerful, but it's only powerful if she doesn't hold on to it as the truth. So do you know how many times you've done something good and something bad has happened because of it? Like every time. The universe is completely balanced. The more we try to be better, the more we cut ourselves off from love because life has its own way. Love has its own way of moving, and love is so everything that if we try to control it by deciding what we think is appropriate and not through our perspective, we hold ourselves away keep ourselves apart from the experience. To me, it feels great. There's so much love. There's so much love in the masculine. See, the Two of Cups is here. It's actually in front of her, but it's behind her, like I said. But she sees the Three of Cups because this is what she is. It's what she's being, you see? So it's like we perceive what we are, what we're in. allowing that Two of Cups to be, you know, within her, and then nothing can stop her from experiencing his Two of Cups, which he has over here.